What is going on, everyone? It is Z-Money here, back with another video, and today we have another episode of Zach and Dad's college football predictions. But before we get into our selections for Week 4 of the college football season, we're going to look at the results from Week 3. Dad, we'll start with you. Your correct picks last week were Penn State, Alabama, Florida, Clemson. You also got an additional prediction for Trevor Lawrence for throwing for at least 300 yards. Virginia and Wake Forest. You had 2 losses last week. Your losses were Michigan State and Iowa State.
Michigan State really let me down.
Yeah, I picked Michigan State too.
Inexcusable.
Yes. Let's get into, well, before I get into mine, Dad, your score for Week 3 was 130 points, and your current total is 350.
Not bad.
Let's get into my correct picks from Week 3. My correct picks were Penn State, Alabama. I also said Tua Tagovailoa was going to throw for at least 4 touchdown passes, and I was correct on that, so that's 30 points for that game. Iowa, Florida, Clemson, Virginia. I also had 2 losses. My losses were freaking North Carolina. I was so high on North Carolina in my analysis that week. And
freshman quarterback on the road.
Yeah, that was probably a bad decision to pick the Tar Heels in that one. And I also got Michigan State wrong along with him. So, it is now time to get into our selections for Week 4 of the 2019 college football season. Let's start with LSU at Vanderbilt. I believe the Commodores are 0-2 going into this game with losses against Georgia and Purdue. Number 4, LSU, they're favored by 24 points. Dad, who you got?
Going LSU, I think Vanderbilt starts the year 0-3. Going to be a disappointing year for the Commodores as the schedule gets tougher, not easier.
I'm going to go with the Bayou Bengals as well. Keyshawn Vaughn is a great player. Dad and I saw him in person. He did a pretty great job against Boilermaker defense, even though Vanderbilt lost that game. But LSU, they have a really good defense. I think they're going to do a great job against Keyshawn Vaughn. Tigers favored by 24. I'm taking the Bayou Bengals. Let's move into our next game. Tennessee, a big question mark in the SEC. They are traveling to the Swamp to take on the Florida Gators, number 9 in the nation. The Gators are favored by 14. Dad, I'll let you start with this one.
Gators, Felipe Franks hurt, out for the year. Tennessee comes in with a bruised ego, underachieving this year are the Vols. Had high expectations for this game. Unfortunately, the Vols go back to Knoxville, losing big down in the Swamp. I'm going to go Florida Gators, and they cover the spread.
Like I said, Tennessee's a big question mark. They lost to Georgia State and BYU. I'm going to take the Gators as well. I don't think Tennessee's going to be ready for this game. Jeremy Pruitt, what is he doing down in Knoxville? Who knows?
It's early. Just need to recruit.
Gators, cover. Let's get into our next game. Michigan State, coming off of the loss against Arizona State, they're traveling to Evanston to take on Pat Fitzgerald and his Northwestern Wildcats. I think Michigan State's going to have a bounce-back game. They're favored by 9 points. Pat Fitzgerald will have his guys ready, but I think Mark D'Antonio will have his Spartans ready as well, bouncing back after the loss at Arizona State. Michigan State, it's probably one of Mark D'Antonio's best defenses he's had. Sparty.
Well, defensive D'Antonio. Spartan fans are upset with the lack of offense in East Lansing this year. Not sure why. It's always that way. They don't have that bell cow running back that they've had in the past.
Brian Lewerke's still there, by the way.
Brian Lewerke, I think he's in his 10th year at Michigan State. I think Michigan State, a little ticked off after the missed call on the field goal with the Arizona State player jumping over the line. I'm going to go Michigan State, but I don't think they win by 9. I'm going Michigan State on a late field goal. Would not surprise me if Northwestern wins, but for the sake of picks, got to go Sparty. Tough loss for Northwestern at home on a last-second field goal.
He wants the points, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's get into a big one in the SEC. Bo Nix and the Auburn Tigers are traveling to College Station, I think it's what it is.
College Station.
To take on Texas A&M. Bo Nix, freshman quarterback this year starting for the Tigers. Jarrett Stidham is not there anymore. I don't think he can handle the 12th man at Texas A&M. The noise, it will bother him, I think. I'm going with the Aggies. They're favored by 3.5, 17th in the nation. Texas A&M.
Gus Malzahn has an opportunity to go to College Station and get a signature win with a freshman quarterback in Bo Nix. Bo Nix has not been rattled this year.
This is going to be a big test for him. The 12th man.
Big test in College Station. I understand it. This kid has grown up loving football, loving Auburn. This is Bo Nix's dream game.
Have you seen that picture at the national championship where he was sitting next to Cam Newton?
Yep. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Auburn, Gus Malzahn will be off the hot seat for 1 week when they go to College Station and beat Texas A&M.
Wow, you're picking the Tigers.
On the road.
Interesting pick.
Auburn will, I'll probably regret it, but I'm going with the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, I don't think Bo Nix can handle the 12th man at all at Texas A&M. But let's go to the Pac-12 for a game. Number 16 in the nation, Oregon Ducks. They're playing at Stanford this week. Oregon's favored by 10.5. Justin Herbert, I'm really high on him this year. I think he's probably the best quarterback in the Pac-12. I'm going to take the Ducks in this one. Stanford, they're down their backup quarterback as he got injured earlier in the season. Ducks.
Ducks as well. Stanford banged up, injured. I think Stanford is ready for spring ball, wishing it was next year already.
Additional one for me, Justin Herbert, 3 passing touchdowns. You heard it here first. Let's move into another game in the Big Ten. Big Ten West matchup. Scott Frost and his Cornhuskers are traveling to Champaign to take on Lovie Smith's Fighting Illini. I think Nebraska wins this game. Illinois is 2-1, but they haven't had really much of a test as they're coming off the loss against Eastern Michigan. That's 3 years in a row Eastern Michigan has beat a Big Ten team. They beat Rutgers, Purdue, and now Illinois. Adrian Martinez is going to have a good year this year, I think. Nebraska.
I am going Cornhuskers. Illinois probably will not win a game the rest of the year.
Nah.
They've got their 2 wins. Cornhuskers favored by 10, I believe.
It says 13. By the way,
13.
these spreads are accurate as of noon on Thursday.
13 points. I'm going Nebraska by... They're going to cover the 13 and maybe more.
Adrian Martinez, 300 for me.
Champaign will be have more Nebraska fans than Illinois fans.
Yeah, most likely. Let's move into the Big 12 for this one. Oklahoma State, they're traveling to Austin to take on Texas. Texas, 12 in the nation, favored by 6. I think this is too close of a spread here.
I'm actually surprised by that. I think Texas takes care of business. Hook 'em horns.
Yeah, I think Texas wins as well. I don't think Oklahoma State's going to be ready for this test against Longhorns. Sam Ehlinger, I think he's going to have a good game. Hook 'em. Let's move in to the college game day game this week. I'm super excited about this one. Notre Dame and Georgia. We're both Purdue fans. We strongly dislike Notre Dame.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. So, I told you this before we started recording. This is going to be a great analysis for me. Notre Dame has lost 10 straight against the top 25 and 120th in run defense. Notre Dame can't stop the run. All Georgia does is run the ball down their opponent's throats. DeAndre Swift gets two rushing touchdowns. Dogs.
Couldn't agree more. DeAndre Swift may run for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Jake Fromm, when Notre Dame's defense creeps up, is going to throw it over the top. Dogs all day.
And now, it is time for Zach's Game of the Week. So, my game of the week this week is Michigan, number 11, on the road at Madison versus the Wisconsin Badgers. Dad, Wisconsin has not allowed a single point on defense. And here's another one for you. 2 words. Jonathan Taylor. Badgers.
Well, since you just said, and I did not know this, that Wisconsin has not given up any points.
But here's the thing. They've played South Florida and Central Michigan.
They've not given up any points all year. I think the Khakis go into Madison and come away with the win.
Really?
They will shut down Jonathan Taylor. Shea Patterson, Michigan's quarterback, will throw for 3 touchdowns.
Ooh.
The Khakis march into Madison and get it done. And Jim Harbaugh, for 1 week, we will not hear you whine.
All right, well, that concludes our list. I'm sorry about this one, but I don't have a vlog for TCU. Really, nothing happened on Purdue's side.
It was a rough day. We had fun, though, before the game.
We did have a lot of fun before the game, but the Boilermakers are on a bye week this week, so no Purdue football vlog. But we'll be back next week as the Boilermakers take on PJ Fleck, rowing his boat through the Wabash River, coming to West Lafayette for Purdue versus the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. So be on the lookout for that. Look out for picks next week, and we'll see you guys for our next video. Peace.